LinkedIn just changed the navigation for event pages. If you're an admin and you're setting up events on LinkedIn, here's what you need to know. This is Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing, walking you through the process here today. I'm publishing this video on YouTube, and I'm also going to be putting this as an episode on my podcast. If you happen to be listening on the podcast, go and watch the YouTube video and you can see the step-by-step instructions. Let's go ahead and get started. So I just noticed this within the past 24 hours. I think it was actually today, might have been late yesterday when I noticed this. And I have an event that's coming up this week. It's refreshing your LinkedIn profile for 2026. So I've been regularly inviting people to my event. I've really been looking at the event page over the past week and paying very close attention to it. So I'm going to start the process with what exactly I did today to find this. And I'm going to walk you through what changed, and I'll show you some of the cool new features that you get inside here. So I'm starting on my profile. I'm going to scroll down to my activity section and click on events. And then I'm going to click on the event. Now, before this change happened, when you clicked on the event, you actually went to a page where you could see essentially what the public would see, but you had a couple of additional features that you could access underneath there to invite people or edit the event, etc. Now the whole navigation is different, and it reminds me a little bit of a company page navigation. So let me click on this right now, and it's going to take us to this new manage event page instead. Give it a second to load. And by the way, have you noticed LinkedIn is running a little bit slower this week? I think it's because they're rolling out changes like these on the platform and they had no downtime. So here we are. We're now at this, what looks like almost like a back end and an admin view of the company page. And I noticed right away there's some things that are different. We have analytic highlights here at the top. It's showing me for this event, I have 71 registrations. I've had 37 event page visits, and I've had an engagement rate of 2.6%. Now, if you click on any of these numbers that are underlined, you're going to notice that it gives you what the calculation is or what that data point consists of. So for example, engagement rate is calculated as clicks plus reactions plus comments and shares divided by impressions, okay? And impressions refers to the total number of views when the content is at least 50% on screen for at least 300 milliseconds, or there's some other data points. So that's the first thing. And then you can certainly click on show in-depth analytics, and it's going to give you some additional information in here as well. I'm going to skip this for now because I'm just going to stay on just the straight landing page and walk you through because there's so much information to cover in here. You can certainly pour through each of the data points and spend a lot of time on here, but I want to highlight the things that I think are important for you to know. So we can see on here, when you're on the landing page, you're basically just seeing overview information. Now, when you click through on the left-hand side, we're actually going to see some of that detail. So if we click on analytics, you're going to notice we still have the registration information at the top. And then as we scroll down, you're going to see post analytics. And this is very similar to what we were seeing before for our post analytics. It's now showing us the total number of impressions that this post about this event generated and the number of members reached. And then underneath that, you're going to see profile activity. This is a bit different because now it's saying how many new profile viewers I gained from this event post, as well as how many new followers I gained from this. And then you can also, if you're a LinkedIn Premium member, which I am, you see the little gold symbol here. If you click on show recent profile viewers, it's now taking us to all of our profile viewers. It's not just the individuals who viewed the profile from this event. So I feel like that is actually a bit misleading. I was hoping that when I clicked on those analytics and looked at, the profile viewers from the post and followers gained, that it was going to show me who those people were, but it's not showing us that. It's just taking you back to that LinkedIn Premium section. At any rate, underneath that, you're going to see engagement, and we saw these in the event post prior to this. It's showing us the total number of social engagements, which consist of reactions, comments, reposts, saves, and sends. Now, I'm not recalling if sends was on there from before or not, and that's when somebody sends the event post in a direct message to someone else on LinkedIn. And let's see if I click on, I don't think the number 1 is clickable here, so I can't see if that was me or if that was someone else. I think that was probably someone else. So underneath this, it's showing demographics, and I was kind of curious, does that mean demographics for people who've registered, for people who've seen the post, for people I've invited? What does it mean? So click on the I. And it's going to show you these numbers are an estimate. This is post viewer demographics. So for the people who saw this post in the homepage feed, here are some demographics. And you can see you can toggle through categories, job title, we can look at location, seniority, company, industry, company size, etc. Now, this is kind of interesting because they never really used to show us this type of information before. Now they are. Now, this is showing me for the post itself, not for people who have registered for the event. So I kind of take this with a grain of salt. Like, how valuable is this information, essentially? And you could just spend a lot of time pouring through this and really not getting a ton of value out of it. So just be aware of that. We can also see in the left navigation, there's a comments tab. So if I click on comments, let's see what happens here. I think they all load in a view, so I can take action on them. Similar to the post feed, I can click on change it from most relevant comments to most recent, and I can make sure that I have engaged with everyone who has engaged on my post already, which I think I've done a pretty good job doing. And then I can go under Manage Event, and this used to be the little drop-down button on the event page before. Now, under Manage Event, I can manage attendees, edit event, cancel event, or delete event. Now, let me click on Manage Attendees. That seems a little bit confusing. So this is showing me the total number of attendees that have indicated they plan to attend, as well as the total count of people I've invited to the event. I want to remind everyone that you can invite up to 1,000 people per week to attend events on LinkedIn. And I'm an opportunistic marketer. So if LinkedIn says, hey, we were giving you 1,000 invitation credits for events, I'm going to try to get to as close as 1,000 as I can. And I've got less than 24 hours for this event. So I've got a couple hundred more that I can use within the time period here. All right, so there's manage attendees. That's a little bit different. I don't remember seeing that before specific to an event. Then when we click on share, some similarities and then some new things. So we have copy link, invite, which is what we used to be able to click on to invite people to the event. So that's how you get back to that navigation. That was a little confusing for me the first time. Okay, let me go back under that again. So I click on share, repost to feed, send in a message. So that's for me to send it in a direct message to someone else. X, formerly Twitter. I'm not using Twitter, so I'm not going to use that. And then Facebook. Now, that was something new. So if you click on, I believe this is going to share it to Facebook. Let me just pause while I do that, and then I'll tell you what happens. And this is a really good pro tip. If you don't know if something's going to happen, and you're trying to do a video in one take, pause the video, then see what happens, and then explain it to your audience, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I am logged into Facebook. When I clicked on that share to Facebook, it took me over to Facebook and created a post, but this is really looking pretty rudimentary. It has a graphic, which is not my event graphic, and the text underneath it reads LinkedIn, log in, or sign up, which is a bit confusing. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to say check out my LinkedIn masterclass tomorrow because I want to see what happens when I post it on Facebook. Again, I don't know what's going to happen here, so I'm going to pause the video and see what happens, and then I'll unpause it again and explain that to you. All right, so what happened when I clicked on that link is it took me back to the LinkedIn event page. I'm not a fan of sharing it on Facebook for that very reason. It didn't look very pretty, and it didn't give the setup text, the image, the visual, everything that goes along with it. So I'm hoping that might be something that they improve, but right now it's a standard graphic with standard text, and you'd have to go into your Facebook post and personalize that. What else? We have view as member. Now, for those of you who have your own company page, you will notice that this feels very similar. View as member in the left navigation. And then when we go to the event page, when we click on view as member, rather, we can see the event page. And now it has view as member equals true. Now, the difference here is that if you're in the company page admin view, there's usually a bar at the top that says view as admin. So it's not showing on here, but I'm guessing if I were to click on any of these options underneath, I still have access to the old view. This is the menu that we used to see on event pages, but it's not giving me that option to toggle back into the admin view. So that's feeling a bit disjointed to me right now, but maybe that's LinkedIn's plan. I'm not sure. What else on here? There's now advertise. Not surprising. They're trying to get you to boost your events. And, they're a business, so you can't fault them on that. I typically don't pay for advertising on LinkedIn, especially for events. It's very costly and not really, in my opinion, the best use of your marketing funds. And then finally, there's view all events, which I believe will take you to all of your events, which it does on your activity timeline. So that's what you get inside the admin view here. You can see that things are loading pretty slowly. And I think this is typical of when LinkedIn is rolling out new features. It just takes a while for information to load up in there. So that's it. This is a quick overview of the new admin view of event pages. So that's it. This is an overview of the new admin view of LinkedIn event pages. And I think this is day one for me. There is a likelihood that LinkedIn could make some tweaks and changes along the way. but wanted to alert you this is something that's rolling out on the platform right now. If you do have the new event view and you found this video helpful, do let me know in comments below. And again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I want to encourage you to check out the link in show notes, which will take you over to the YouTube channel and you can watch it on screen. This is Brenda Meller helping you to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. And if you're interested, you're invited to come on out and join me at my masterclass tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.